NBA players that won't last next year. A career in the NBA can be a long and arduous one. The grind of playing professional basketball is a slow burn. When the burn finally gets to a player, it may be that they lose their ability to continue on with their career, or perhaps they burn out in a particular season. Make no mistake, there are players that put so much into the game that they compromise their futures. And there are some players in the NBA that won't last next year. LAMARCUS Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge is one of those players who has had a great career, but so often you're left wondering what could have happened for him under better circumstances. Unfortunately for Aldridge, he was diagnosed with a heart ailment in his rookie season of 2006-2007. He missed the remainder of his season in order to take care of that. Aldridge was playing the very next season and had excellent seasons in Portland, but a heart ailment is serious and something that needs to be monitored carefully. The 2011-2012 season was another incomplete one for him, as he needed to have surgery for his heart ailment. Aldridge surprisingly has continued to flourish and play masterfully, but with an ailment such as that, it's often speculated if he has been held back from achieving greater levels of success. Aldridge next moved on to the Spurs and has played great for Coach Popovich there. Aldridge is starting to get up there in age for an NBA player, especially for a big man. And during the hiatus of this current 2019-2020 season, Aldridge had to have surgery on his shoulder for an injury sustained earlier. With the age factor, surgeries not only for a heart ailment, but also for a shoulder, Aldridge's chances of continuing much longer seem to be more bleak than one would hope. Now, combine all those factors with the fact that his point total is starting to slip. In 2017-2018, he was averaging over 23 points a game. In the 2019-2020 season, his average was under 19 points a game. One would assume that the averages would continue to slide, and that was Aldridge's biggest threat. And with a younger Spurs team looking to remodel and rebuild, Aldridge may have a tough time keeping up. Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo is in his 14th year, currently playing with the Lakers. Also, currently sidelined with an injury, which is becoming a more common description of Rondo nowadays. And where being in your 14th year isn't always so terrible, pairing it with many injuries can be. The injuries age NBA players quite fast. Rondo has had several hand-related injuries that have kept him out of the game. He also has torn an ACL in his career. He has had 5 seasons in which he's played under 60 games. All of this is significant for the point guard who once rocked the city of Boston year after year with his excellent playmaking and court vision. After a stint in Boston, it was a lot of playing a season here and a season there. He has since played in Dallas, Sacramento, Chicago, New Orleans, and now Los Angeles. A 33-year-old with multiple injuries touring more cities than a rock group. This doesn't always spell out success. If Rondo doesn't heal up soon and heal up right, he may be looking at a rough season next year. Many signs are pointing to the veteran not being able to last the whole season without something sidelining him. Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry of the Raptors, king of taking charges, has been an excellent player over the course of his career. A gritty and tough guard with great offensive and defensive skills. And he is never scared to put his body on the line. He draws more charges than any other player, and considering he is smaller than most other players, that can be concerning if you're a Raptors fan. Of course, the city of Toronto loves seeing Lowry taking hits and causing opponents to rack up offensive fouls. He's a player to leave it all on the court each and every night, but this style of play doesn't come with all positives. Lowry has suffered several injuries over his career, and his style of play suggests that he has not seen his last injury. As NBA players get older, they tend to move away from this style of play. For those that can continue on with this gritty, put my body on the line style, it can spell trouble. Lowry's Raptors did just win a championship, but they want more. They're still a phenomenal team, but losing Kawhi Leonard downgrades them significantly. Don't tell Toronto that. They still view themselves as a juggernaut of the East, and they want to prove it. With several teams in the East getting better and better, Toronto is going to have to really put in the work to stay in the future races for championships. With Lowry in his 14th season, going on to season number 15, and still taking charges like he does, he isn't going to be able to last through the whole season. Damian Lillard. Most people look at Damian Lillard and they don't think this is a player that will break. This is a player that will break scoring records. Lillard has been on a tear lately in the NBA, scorching teams with 50-point performances, shooting threes from near half court, near the logo. That's why they call him Logo Lillard. And although we love to see Dame Dollar go nuts and put up shots from all over the court, next season, that is going to be difficult for him to keep sustainable. Here's the thing about Lillard's magnificent performances, where he scored over 40 points, over 50 points, etc. They've been necessary. A lot of these huge performances from him have been in close victories. The Blazers have needed every bucket from him. Portland hasn't been known for its defense. At times, it looks like Portland might have trouble even spelling defense. So many of their games turned into shootouts, in which Lillard has to outshoot the other ball club in order to drag his team to victory. He has been giving it everything he has got just to get his team into the playoffs in multiple years, just to get his team to win a playoff series and continue advancing. The Trailblazers do have some great offensive weapons to help Lillard out in CJ McCollum, Carmelo Anthony, and Jusuf Nurkic. But McCollum needs to work on consistency. Anthony is an older vet who can't be relied on a fair amount of the time, and Nurkic needs to stay healthy and available. If the Blazers don't come together to provide Lillard with some consistent help, and if they don't step up their defensive game, this will start to take a large toll on Lillard. It already has taken a toll on him a bit. In trying so hard with each and every game, Lillard has put his body on the line, sustaining a finger injury and a knee injury in back-to-back playoff games. These injuries have not been too significant, but they did keep him out of crucial playoff games, in which the Blazers lost to the Lakers. With this style of play, all offense from Logo Lillard, and not much defense from anyone other than the occasional Hassan Whiteside blocked shot, it's only a matter of time until Lillard wears himself down. And when a player is worn down, that is when more significant injuries can occur. And even if Lillard isn't hit with a significant injury, the strain of trying to carry the entire city of Portland on his shoulders is going to grind him down. Next year will be a tough one for Lillard, as he tries to continue with the incredulous game he has shown us recently. The NBA seasons are long, and they can be unkind when your team consists of one man. Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is a unique case. He is an excellent player on both offense and defense. If you've ever watched him play, especially when it comes to his dunking ability, you know how explosive he is. His explosiveness is generally a good trait, but can at times be troublesome. He has had a few injuries in the past. One of them was a hip flexor. He most recently suffered a strained hamstring, which sidelined him from finishing the 2019-2020 season, and also caused him to miss the Orlando Magic's playoff series against the Bucks. Gordon is a player who will always give it his all. And even though he contributes so much to the Magic, there are often rumors of the Magic dangling him out there as a trade offer. And when no one agreed to a trade with the Magic, Gordon just continued to play his heart out for Orlando. There's no reason to believe the Magic won't try to trade Gordon again. Now, Gordon has suffered an injury to his hamstring, which may make him less appealing. Regardless of where he ends up, Orlando or elsewhere, he's going to keep playing hard. With a crowded Eastern Conference that will only be getting more crowded with the return of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, the blossoming of Atlanta Hawks youngsters such as Trae Young, the pending return of the dynamic duo in Washington of John Wall and Bradley Beal, the Magic will have a tough time scrapping for a playoff spot. And when you have a team on the outside looking in, with a star player returning from an injury whose motor only has the one speed of full throttle, disaster looms on the horizon. Even if Gordon were to move to a Western Conference team, he would likely need to prove himself to be an effective part of the system. And a player with a desire to continue to be explosive after a hamstring injury makes his next season look like it won't be too kind to him. Andrew Wiggins. The once highly touted Andrew Wiggins has been referred to as Maple Jordan and Junior Jordan, as many saw him as the second coming of Jordan, straight out of Canada, though with a detour through the University of Kansas, then through Cleveland when drafted first overall, only to be traded to Minnesota before playing his first season. Wiggins won Rookie of the Year as he showcased his offensive prowess on the court. People expected his talents and skills to continue to climb, and though Wiggins has improved and he has had flashes of excellence, he has not shown consistent excellence. Wiggins seems to lack the ability to step on the court each and every day and dominate, to take control every game. He has natural talent and ability, but he doesn't bring it every night. He will always contribute to the team, but to what extent? People thought he would elevate the Minnesota Timberwolves to new levels, and paired with Karl Anthony Towns, it seemed that duo could make some noise. But they haven't really been all that loud. Wiggins was traded to Golden State while the Warriors are in their strange gap year. What remains to be seen is if the Warriors will want to keep Wiggins on their roster to complement the returns of Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson and to play alongside Draymond Green. Wiggins doesn't quite seem to fit the defensive mindset that the Warriors possess, and has been speculated that he will be traded for draft picks or different players. It's uncertain where Wiggins will end up, and what will be expected of him. The once Jordan-esque prospect has been reduced to a role player in some people's minds, and someone to just provide extra scoring if needed. In a league where shoot-happy scoring savants are a dime a dozen, defense is the real big commodity in the NBA. Will Andrew Wiggins be able to find a landing spot where he can continue on and thrive? Expectations can hurt a player who still contributes in a positive way. Expectations can be a double-edged sword, but if anyone is expecting the Maple Jordan to join their team by signing Wiggins, that season won't last long. Final thoughts. Thanks for watching another UpNext Sports video. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment, especially if you think that there are some players that won't last next year that we left out. And make sure to join us for the next Hot Topic basketball video.